as we wrap up even on this topic, I don't know if you noticed during that conversation, there was something very interesting that happened. There was a woman who jumped onto that conversation. And first of all, she came in sounding very humble. No, I'm sorry, I'm feeling a bit guilty for sort of introducing a new topic. But even before she broached her own topic, she seems to have wanted to nullify what we had brought out we had been able to uncover with regards to this gentleman's story. She said, no, there are evil men. Evil men exist. Let's not delude ourselves. Evil men exist. So she nullified that whole conversation by saying, no, there are evil men. That man should cut off his entire relationship with his father and family and only see them where need be. While we were saying the very opposite. We were saying, no, reach out to your dad. Try and gather the real story. Try and mend your relationship with the father and channel the resources in the correct protocol form. That is in terms of channel it to the leader of that household, which is the father. But she came in and said, no, there are evil men. We know that they are deadbeat fathers. We know that they are very drunken and irresponsible men. And I know you always bring up that aspect of misdirection. So she went on then on another tangent to say,
you really read my mind.
That we went into this fairy story that she brought up, which didn't even make sense at all. Do they do this deliberately, intentionally to derail the men? When you,
I think she also introduced something to do with the Lilith or something like that.
That's a fairy tale story I'm talking about. It's complete bullshit, if you ask me.
You see, there's a tendency of poorly brought up woman to want to be against men bonding. Each time men sit together to discuss things, it really, if a woman is poorly brought up, it really rattles her. Because chances are there's going to be enlightenment in that group. Chances are someone is going to be called out on his bullshit. Bullshit that some woman is relying on to keep things running.
Exactly.
Yeah. That is why for people who have been in relationships, each time you start displaying some level of enlightenment or you displaying some upgrade in your type of reasoning, you are flooded with lots of sex and improvement in culinary skills. And it works. It works within a short time. That is why in what we are doing most of the time,
pillow talk. Yes. And the pillow talk also.
That's why most of the time, me and my co-founder, whenever I say, when we are working out strategies on who to approach, let's deal with the business entities. You deal with the man, he's very reasonable. When you are out there in the streets, you're talking with him. He goes home, then out of his lambistics, it's called kind-hearted lambisticness. He goes to share with his wife what he's planning because he believes that is his partner. He wants all the best. The woman listens to it keenly. That is the day he goes and takes a very nice pilau masala ingredients and all mapochopochos, cooks something nice, gets in the bedroom, performs Usain Bolt tactics in bed. Then during pillow talk in the morning, after morning glory, the man is twisted. He'll tell you, no, that this pickup has been having problems for a long time. And then the following day, you come meet with this guy, tells you, hey, finances have taken a hit. Can we put a pause on the project? Then you realize, at first you wonder why this guy, day one, we are very agreeable. Then day two, it has happened to me when I used to work in the banking sector, credit card division. I actually had a deal nailed in a credit card. Then the following day, the guy just said, no. Reason, personal reasons. I just put 2 and 2 together.
That's how the woman caught up with him.
Yes, yes.
You know, Kibe says this almost playfully, and I think sometimes we tend to not take full attention of what he says. He says, don't ever listen to a woman's advice. Always listen it. He even tells them when they come into, like, whenever he does his YouTube channels, women, you've got 2 ears and one mouth. When you feel inspired to speak, remember that is the devil talking through you. And in many cases, that has been proven to be true. Like, this woman completely just threw us off.
You noticed,
she's bringing a fairy tale story.
Did you
trying
notice
to
that
nullify exactly what you were saying?
I actually kept quiet.
Yes.
I completely kept quiet, and I only talked when she was gone.
Yeah.
Because I told them I did not want to engage in this madness.
You might be taken out like what Kibe did a number.
Yeah.
Kibe did a number on you, bruh.
It is in my archives.
They have that soft voice, and men, we can easily fall for this. And I guess this is what they do, that pillow talk. They give you some nice sex and completely throw you off your game. And I now even see the importance of why, if you look at our forefathers and the kind of setups that they used to have, where men and women were almost living sort of separately, only coming in when there's need be, where there were sort of men clubs, or men would tend to keep that, because when you're in a male grouping, you look at things logically, you look at things for what they are, you look at things, you don't bullshit one another. There are no, you don't lie to one another. You tell it as it is.
I'm not trying to seduce you. I'm not trying to get you to bed.
Exactly. But with women, there's this separation, I think, is important. And this is not to say that men and women have got nothing to come down together for. There are scenarios where they can, but it's important for very few, as I say, where you have to procreate, to bring in children, and very other limited. But in most cases, as a man, you need to maintain your manly groupings. We need to maintain the council of men. A lot of the advice that you hear from women typically comes from a point of emotion. It's and in many regards, as we see, there's some of these ulterior motives that are embedded in their message.
Also in a setup of masculinity, you are more likely to be called out on your bullshit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You say shit, it's called, hey, Brian, whatever, that is absolute nonsense. Just shut up. And you shut up and you listen. Plain and simple.
100%. 100%. 100%. And that's what it is all about. So